Hi, it's your main man Dan the Boy. So today I'd like to review and unbox one of the rarest action figures ever. Well, for me, it's DC Direct Phantom Stranger. This action figure was manufactured around 2002, and that's my daughter Darlene. So I've been looking for this figure for like what, 15 years plus. I'm a big fan of the Phantom Stranger. I've been a big fan since I read the books of magic back in 1996. Well, the book was published in 1990, 1991, but I read it in my junior high school in 1996. It's about a boy called Tim Hunter, which was visited by four mysterious men, supreme beings, whatever you want to call it. John Constantine, Dr. Occult, Mr. E, and the man of the hour, the Phantom Stranger. So, as far as I know, there are only like 2 or 3 Phantom Stranger figures ever published. There were only 2 or 3 Phantom Stranger action figures ever produced. The first one is this, DC Direct, as far as I know. And then there's also DCUC or DC Signature by Mattel. And there's another third one with a cloth material. So, but this is by far the best Phantom Stranger figures ever. And for me, this figure is the cherry on top of my collection cake. This is the golden champion. This is the creme de la creme of my figures. It's a cherry on top of my cake. So I have thousands and thousands of action figures, but this one will complete my collection. I don't need no other action figure ever. Now I have this. So I've been looking for 15 years for these figures, and I just found it this month in April 2022.
No.
I bought it through eBay from a seller in US for $50, and it's worth every dollar, since this is one of the rarest as far as I know. I knew this figure back in 2007. If you see here, this is called the Magician and Mystique, if I'm not mistaken, or Magic or Mystery in 2002. There's Tim Hunter, the character from the books of magic, and the supervillain Mordru, and this guy, the Phantom Stranger. So I own Tim Hunter back in 2006, and I bought Mordru in 2007, like 4 and 5 years after their release. But I never got a chance to have Phantom Stranger until now. I've been looking for this figure forever, from store to store, from collector to collector, from online marketplace to marketplace, and now I find it and I own it. So I'm very happy. I don't even know if I want to open it. So let's see. I'm in the middle of a crossroad. I have mixed feelings because I really want to open it, but I'm also reluctant to open it at the same time, because this is like one of the rarest collection I know. So I don't know. Let's see. But the origin of the books of magic story is about this kid, Tim Hunter, which I liked because it reminds me of me when I was in junior high school. Like skateboard, music, a little bit out of control, anti-authority. And he was visited by 4 mysterious people. And Constantine called themselves the Trench Coat Brigade because all of them wearing coats. There's Constantine, which took Tim Hunter to the present world, but underworld of the present world, the mysterious part of the present world, like heaven and hell. And then Dr. Occult took him to the mysterious mystic realms, the realm of fairies, elves, and also the domain of Sandman, the dream world of the Lord of Dream, the Sandman, also from Neil Gaiman. The books of magic was written by Neil Gaiman, and Sandman also written by Neil Gaiman. So I like those 2 series. And the third one is Mystery, which took Tim Hunter to the future possibility of the end of the universe. So the very end of the universe, and it also become like the ending chapter of Sandman and the Endless. And this guy, the man of the hour, the Phantom Stranger, took him to the beginning of the universe. So, but I won't spoil any more of the comic books. You should read it. It's a good one by Neil Gaiman. And since then, I always loved Phantom Stranger, but I never owned, I never bought it until now. I've always been looking for these figures to other collectors, and they said, yes, hey, I found it. No, it's not. It's the question. And then the other collector said, hey, I found it for you. No, that's Rorschach. Or maybe the other guys, no, it's the question. It's very, very difficult to find this guy. And the DCUC or the Mattel version is very, very bad for me. It's like skinny, lanky with the big golden necklace, which reminds me of, I don't know, Run DMC or Public Enemies, but this one is just perfect. This is the first one produced in 2002. You know how beautiful it is? And I love it because it's still in the MOC mint condition, very pristine condition. Here, look at this. Very smooth and pristine. Only several creases on top of the packaging. Hey, it's a 20 years figure, so yeah, figures. But the rest, you know, let me zoom in. Very, very good and pristine. Look how mysterious he is. So a little bit bio about Phantom Stranger. Nobody knows who he is. Even he doesn't know who he is, who he really was. Before he became the Stranger. Some theories said that he's the wandering Jew. Another theory said he's a fallen angel or experiment gone wrong at the end of the universe, and maybe a man who was sacrificed to save the world. But for me personally, I think he is like the Tom Bombadil version in DC Universe, you know, the Flux in DC Universe. Nobody can explain, nobody knows. He was a mistake. He can read through others, the past, the present, and the future. He can access heaven and hell even though he hasn't entered it. He can defeat almost everyone in DC Universe, and his ability, besides magic, of course, it's immortality, omnipotent, omniscient, what else? Cosmic awareness, and yeah, he's like the Flux in DC Universe. He's like the mistake. He's like the glitch, Tom Bombadil version of DC Universe, you know? The one who can be anytime, anywhere, any reality, in any universe in DC. Maybe also in Marvel. Well, he can beat everyone in Marvel as well. Doctor Strange, definitely he can beat Doctor Strange. He is the Phantom Stranger. And if I'm not mistaken, I read it from somewhere that the person who created the Phantom Stranger also was inspired by Mark Twain's novel, The Mysterious Stranger, which in the novel also it was not explained the real origin of the mysterious stranger, whether he or she is an angel or devil. But for me, yes, he's a glitch in the universe who is immune to any power, who can beat anyone, who can access any minds and any realities. He is the Stranger. Okay, so finally I've decided I'm going to open this figure. So let's see. Oh, it's too good to be open, but I want to review this figure. I want to see. I want to let him breathe the air after 20 years being in a clamshell on a card. All right, let's open it. You know, I've been collecting action figures since I was 7-year-old. I have thousands and thousands of figures. My first action figures was Kenner, Ghostbuster, Playmates, Ninja Turtle, Silverhawks, Thundercats, and since I was 7-year-old, and now my current collections are the lines like McFarlane, Marvel Legends, Black Series, NECA, Mesco, Super 7 Ultimates, and some Japanese brands like SHF, Figure Arts, Mafex, Vicma, and others. And this one is the best action figures I've ever pulled. Look at this. No accessories, but in all his glory. Wow. Okay. Only have three wires. Let's open him up. And I haven't seen anybody in YouTube ever reviewed this figure. Some reviewed the DC Signature version of the Phantom Stranger, but never the DC Direct. The 2002 version of the figure. The best version of this figure. So I think it's quite rare. It's very rare. I've been looking for him for almost 16 years now. And I'm very happy to have him in a pristine condition, After 20 years, usually you get a loose figure, but no. This one is very, very mock condition. A clean one, a smooth one, a very, very good one. Wow, let's see him in all his glory. Empty packaging now. And this is him. DC Direct Phantom Stranger. Let me zoom in a little bit. Boom. Oh. See him. Wow. Look at that. This is very, very cool looking action figure. 20-year-old action figure. In the palm of my hand. Right. Let's see. So it's a nice blue trench coat color with the dark blue suit and fedora head. We have white gloves. Very cool, very tight. This is what I like about DC Direct, especially the early one like 1999 to 2004, 2005. The quality is prime. See, let's try that. A little bit of the articulation. All right, so the sculpt wise, he is perfect. It's just like directly from the comics, especially the books of magic, which I read in my junior high school times. Quite heavy, you know, like the old DC Direct figures. Let's compare it with others. Let's compare it with Steel. Right. This is also from DC Direct. Steel, you know, from the Return of the Superman. I think it's also produced around 2002, 2003. Oh. Side-by-side comparison between the Phantom Stranger and Steel. The early days of DC Direct. See how beautiful they are. Right, let's move him aside and see the sculpt. The sculpt is very good. The paint job is also very clean. You know, the suit, They have these little buttons, the gloves with accents, the fedora hat. Some people said that you cannot see the Phantom Stranger's eyes because of the shadow from the fedora hat, but not this figure is clearly showing his eyes, and it's pure white. The grayish hair, the blue coat with a brush, black color brushed. Very, very good suits and coats, fedora hats, gloves, shoes, golden necklace, and the cool white color eyes. The Phantom Stranger. The perfect figure. Creme de la creme of action figures, which I finally owned. Look at this. Alright, let's see articulation. Head can move side to side, rotate 360 degree. This is old action figure, so it doesn't have articulation like Marvel Legends or now the McFarlane or even a NECA. It's limited, but it's adequate. You know, the hand can rotate. A little bit hindered by the coat here because it's not a soft good. It's hard plastic. It's okay. He doesn't need to be doing the back 360 degree rotation. He just needs to do his magic and power wielding hand. Boom. You know. And then the hips, the waist can rotate a little bit, but hindered by the suit, hard plastic. The leg can go front up to this and back, hindered just a little bit. The knee, single jointed, doesn't matter. Slight feet rotation, not so much, but its limited articulation is compensated by the beautiful sculpt and paint job. Look at this guy, man, look at this. All right, it's comparison time. So this is to be compared with another DC Direct, as I mentioned, Steel. Now with other DC figures, we have Justice Alex Ross Superman, DC Direct. And on the back, we have Alan Scott, DC Direct. Maybe the same era, 2002, 2003. And then Adam Strange from GLA. And Guy Gardner from Green Lantern series. And Batman from DC Collectible Essentials. Nightfall Batman, you know, one of the best suit Batman. And he is, I think, besides this DC Collectibles, he's in scale with the other DC Direct figures, you know. He can even lead this group of superheroes. Cool one, cool one. And now side by side with Mesco Dr. Fate. He's also in scale, a little bit shorter, but yeah, quite in scale. And now with Marvel Legends, Retro Spider-Man, and then Scarlet Witch, America Chavez, and Logan. And I think it's also in scale, a little bit taller, and fall down. Talking about Witch and Wizard is now side by side with McFarlane Hermione Granger, and a little bit out of scale because he's supposed to be a lot taller than Hermione. And now with the Mythic Legion figure, Arethyr, and yeah, he's in scale. And now with Masterverse, Mattel, Masters of the Universe, Revelation, a little bit shorter, he should be a bit taller. With DC Direct action figure, Return of Bruce Wayne during the Puritan time. McFarlane DC Multiverse figures, out of scale, he's too small. Even compared to Harley Quinn, he's a little bit shorter. So not in scale to McFarlane DC Multiverse. And then compared to NECA figures, Snake Plissken from Escape from New York, Crash Bandicoot, and the big chap from Alien, he's Out of scale, smaller than NECA figures, but it's okay. It can also be comparable, at certain angle. Now compared to Star Wars Black Series, is too big. It's out of scale. The others like Mandalorian, Anakin, Cara Dune, it's all smaller. They're all smaller than the Phantom Stranger. Compared with McFarlane Spawn figures, he's also a bit smaller. And then compared to 3 of my favorite classic Spawn figures, the Kickstarter, the Spawn 20 masked version, and also the 10th anniversary Spawn, yeah, he is smaller compared to the old McFarlane and new McFarlane figures. With his partners in crime, John Constantine from DC Collectibles. This is the CW TV series. I own the 2002 or 2001 John Constantine from Magic, Mystery and Mystique, if I'm not mistaken. And I also own Fighting Force Sergeant Rock. So those are the top 3 most valuable DC Direct figures for me. 2001 John Constantine, not this one. And then him, Phantom Stranger, and also Sergeant Rock. Unfortunately, I haven't opened John Constantine and Sergeant Rock, but I opened him first. It's okay. They're still in my mint collection. Compared with Funko Legacy, Game of Thrones, Jon Snow, and Brienne of Tarth, he's a bit bigger, but because he should be shorter than Brienne of Tarth. Now, in comparison with Diamond Select Jay and Silent Bob figures from Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. These are great figures, and I think a little bit shorter. Should be as tall as Jay, alright? Compared with Inspector Gadget, the cartoon from my childhood, because they're both wearing coats. Inspector Gadget, a bit smaller. With Coup Model Werewolf, I think it's quite in scale, in scale with this Coup Model Werewolf. Third-party company produce a bipedal werewolf. Very cool. But no, Phantom Stranger is cooler. Another Diamond Select figures, Westworld and Rocketeer, a bit smaller. Sydney from Alias, a bit smaller. Jazz wears Master Chief from Halo. Yeah, it's also out of scale compared to Master Chief Halo. Compared to Super 7 Ultimates, Thundercats and Ninja Turtles, Bebop, Rocksteady and Lion-O. Very, very small compared to those 3. Compared to Mojo and MODOK, yeah, a bit. Yeah, it can be in scale, with these 2 Build-A-Figures. Duke Boom from Toy Story 4, very, very out of scale. But looks cool, side by side. Stan Winston's Creature, wow, looks tiny compared to him. And finally, compared to the complete Griffin family of the Family Guy. Yeah, they look okay. A bit out of scale, but looks good. So in summary, this Cedar Phantom Strange and Extra figures is really the cherry on top of my action figure collection. The best, the Arc, the Golden Champion, the Platinum, the very valuable, the most valuable action figure. He is going to be the mayor of Dan's Collect Town, the leader of the town hall, the MVP. So for some other people, maybe it would be like Fin Fang Foom Bath of Marvel Legends, which I own, or Cyborg from DC Direct, the original Cyborg, I also own it, or maybe McFarlane Urizen, or I don't know, Code Red from Cygor, which I also own both of them. Maybe Mesco 112 Batman Dark Knight Returns, I don't have it, but for me definitely it's this guy, Phantom Stranger DC Direct. made in 2002. Part of the Magician and Mystique and Mysteries. Along with Tim Hunter and Morru, I own both of them. And this is the last piece of my collection. The cherry on top of my collection cake. Phantom Stranger. Pardon my daughter in the background. She's also very excited. Look at this. Excellent. You know, very cool face, very cool hat, very cool suit, very cool coat. Overall, I give him the rating of 10 out of 10 and spectacular, outstanding, sealed of approval, 10 out of 10 for this DC Direct Phantom Stranger action figures. You are the best in my collection, so I don't need any other figure after this. This is the best. All right, that's it from me. It's already 26 minutes. It's Dan the man, your boy. Thank you very much. See you. Bye.